Okay, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully one of your favorite official content creators for the First Descendant, and my green screen is being all glonky here, sorry about that. But anyway, today I'm here to do a video for newer players to the game to explain Arche Tuning and how it works. Alright, I'm gonna go through everything that you guys need to know about it, and I'm sorry that it is very boring to farm. You still have to do Sigma Sector for it, so that is the way. But before we get into it, guys, if you haven't already done so, you like my content, you like how handsome I am, please make sure you register me as your content creator. Link is in the video description. All you gotta do is scroll down there, hit it. In addition to that, if you guys want to be as handsome and cool as me, make sure you guys get yourself a custom waifu pillow, alright? We have actually partnered up with Anime Dakimakura Pillows. You can use my code ADPRAR11 to get 10% off your entire order. And go get yourself a high quality pillow. Look at this lovely Near Automata pillow that I have. Yeah? It's super awesome. Anyway. Sorry to be. And yes, I'm well aware of the brand, but usually I just say the name Near. But anyway, never mind. Since some people felt strongly about that, I've changed the way I pronounce it. Let's get into this. Alright, let's not waste any time. Let me talk to you guys about Arche Tuning. So, first and foremost, what you need to understand about Arche Tuning is that Arche Tuning is shared between the regular version of the Descendant and the Ultimate version. How do I know? I have not done anything with Sharen. No catalysts, none. But my Arche Tuning is already at level 40. This is because Ultimate Sharen, is at level 40. Where is she? My Ultimate Sharen with a full build, alright? With a full build and everything, is at Arche Tuning 40. So the regular Descendant and the Ultimate version will have the same Arche Tuning. Alright, let's go back to the regular version so I can show you stuff.
Can't see me. Why?
God, I can't find her again. Oh, there she is.
The Vulgus can't see me.
No, I don't care.
Why?
There we go. Alright, so what you need to understand first and foremost about Arche Tuning is that Arche Tuning is essentially additional stats. However, not all nodes work in the same way. You'll be able to see how the nodes work, and I'll show you an example of this in a moment. Now, for this particular build, what I'm going to do is show you that, oops, sorry, I'm going to remove myself. Okay, I have just inserted some basic equipment here. Okay, I've made sure that there's no extra power coming from the reactor. So you can see the baseline skill power and all that. And we'll be using a blank set of modules because this is the proper way. Okay, so once we've got all this together, you can see that, all right. First and foremost, what you need to understand is that Arche Tuning, okay, we're going to use a blank setting right here. Arche Tuning is stats. It is exactly the same as the Paragon board from games like Diablo 4. Okay? It functions in the same way. So, you will start out at the center of the Arche Tuning board, and the maximum level you can get is 40. You can spend your points in whatever ways, but the gold nodes cost 5 points. All regular nodes cost only 1 point. See? Purple node, 1 point. Purple nodes are, of course, much stronger than the blue nodes. The blue nodes are just like pathways. Purple nodes are like major nodes. And then the gold ones, although they're only slightly stronger than the purple nodes, they cost 5 points. So be very careful by using them. Make sure that if you're going to use them, it is to maximize your build. Last but not least, there's something called Mutant Cell slots. These are on a per build basis. You have to, the Mutant Cell slots are all at the corners of your Arche Tuning tree. You can unlock all of them if you want to, and they stay unlocked. They don't cost a point to activate. All right, see, even if I activate this, there's no point cost. You can see that my points remain the same. But here's the big problem. Each preset has its own mutant cell. So what you insert in preset 1 does not apply to preset 3, okay? So please be aware of that. Now we're just gonna quickly reset the tree. All right, so now you understand the basics of Arche Tuning, how the tree works. How do you actually get Arche Tuning points? Now we're gonna go into detail in a little while, but how do you actually get Arche Tuning points? Okay, Arche Tuning XP is displayed in certain areas. The best one for getting Arche Tuning XP is Sigma Sector. If you take a look at this, where do you see where it is above my head? This last symbol is unique Arche Factor XP. Sigma Sector gives 1,500, which is the best bang for your buck. Also, each day, you can get a daily bonus that is for Isolated Desert, as well as Broken Boundary, allowing you to get 8,000 Arche Factor XP in addition to the 1,500 you'll get for completing the mission, totaling in just 2 runs, okay, 11,000 Arche Factor XP. All right, you can do that once per day. So play 1 Broken Boundary, play 1 Isolated Desert, you're going to get 11,000 XP. This is how you level up characters that you don't want to level up properly, and you can just hit Public Operation, and it will still clear in exactly the same way. Public Operation does not have a different amount of XP. It's all the same. So you want to level up your Arche Tuning EXP, use the daily rewards to boost yourself, and you're good to go. All right. The farmer characters can farm as much as they like, but for those characters that are a bit more boring to play or that you find difficult to work on, just use the daily bonuses and you're good to go. Okay? All right. Now that you understand how to get XP for Arche Tuning, how does the board work? Okay. Let's start by taking one node, Enhanced Skill Power. First and foremost, let's take a look at the inventory. You see that my skill power is at 11,060, right? Some nodes are straight up additions where it says plus symbol, skill power plus, right? Let me remove my cam for this. This just means that it's going to add to it. All right, so it's just going to add your skill power. There's a button down the bottom that says show all stats. If you do, it'll show you that by adding this amount of skill power, your skill power has gone up to 11,086.96. You might be saying, hold up, without this, it's what is it? 11,060. And now with this, which is 26.003, it's just a straight up addition. All right, this is how you prove it. This is how you prove it. Plus symbol means it's added on. So you can actually watch the changes in this little window here. I know it's a little bit small, but you can actually watch the changes as it goes. Now, certain nodes, all right, where it says 0.004x, but there's a plus symbol, this just means that your skill cost will now be decreased by 3%. All right, so these ones are just straight up additions. All right, range, however, is a multiplier. Take note that I just added these range nodes, but it says plus 34.8% and 0 times. Why? This is because multiplicative nodes with the X symbol, all right, are based off your modules. Right now, we've got no modules in this build, right? Makes sense. What happens if we add a skill range module? So let's add a skill range module. Sorry, it should be range. There we go. Skill expansion, standard range module. We're going to save it. All right, this one adds a skill effect range of 92.3%. So if we now go to Arche Tuning and we have these, let's show the stats right here. Okay, so you got to press the show all stats button. Instead of it being 0.93, okay, you see that? Without these nodes, it went down to 0.97. All right, these are multiplicative. You're adding 34.8% of the 92%. All right, you're adding the 34.8%. It's multiplied by the 92%, which is how you end up with 1244. Okay, so these nodes with the X symbol, 5.1%, and the X symbol there, you see that in the square brackets? That's multiplicative. If this is all too much for you, by the way, guys, just follow the builds that I post, and it'll be a lot easier. But for those that want to understand, this is how it works. Okay, 2 types of nodes. Nodes that are plus are additions. Nodes that are X, okay, are multiplicative. So they only take effect if you have the relevant module. Don't have the relevant module, we strip it out, okay? No effect. No more effect. When we show all stats, 0 times. No effect, okay? So it doesn't matter what your base is, a multiplicative module only multiplies off the stats that are already added from your modules, from your external components, from other factors. If you have no other factors already adding stats to you, you don't get anything, okay? So I'm going to show you one more quick example using the gun side of the tree. All right, this enhanced weak point damage. If I were to put on a gun that, let's put on the fireworks, okay? This gun, we're going to have nothing in it, okay? Again, we're going to apply the same principle. So now, even if I add this is firearm attack multiplicative. It does add firearm attack. Why? Because the gun itself has a base firearm attack. So I'm adding just a little bit, a 0.2% increase. So This one, although it's multiplicative, the gun itself has stats. So it's adding to this. It's multiplying with that. Sorry. Now, the gun itself also has weak point, right? So look at what happens. When I add these nodes, which are all multiplicative, the base weak point of the gun gets an increase. This is because the gun itself has a base weak point stat of 1 times. All right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be modules. It can be the item itself that adds to the power. Okay? Now, what about reload time modifier? This is multiplicative. Take note that right now it's at 0 times. You might be thinking, wait a second, but Robot, you just said that the gun itself has base stats. Yes. Yes. But this is a modifier. This is a reload time modifier. You don't have any reload modifiers right now, but look at what happens if we add, okay, a reload modifier, like say, for example, Recycling Genius. It's not upgraded, but doesn't really matter. We're going to add that in, okay? Now we go to Arche Tuning, and if we take a look at all stats, lo and behold, the reload modifier is now 0.094 times, where previously it was 0 times. This is because this reload modifier multiplier is functioning off the module in the gun. This is a reload time modifier. Your gun does not have reload time by itself. Similarly, if you were to try enhanced accuracy, take note that this is actually working because it's multiplicative. You'd be like, wait a second, but I didn't modify accuracy. Well, the gun itself, again, you can check this from the base stats. The gun itself has a base stat called hip fire accuracy, aim shot accuracy. So this is what it is multiplying off. Of course, you can adjust this with modules yourself, but this is how it works, okay? So that, in summary, is how Arche Tuning works in detail. Quick look again, all right? Very simple. Stats that are plus additive, all right, they will add even without any modifier. Things that are additive all work the same. Things that are multiplicative, okay, work only if you have the modifier. For skills, you will probably have to put a module in your Descendant. For guns, it depends on whether the gun has a base stat or not. In the case of reload time modifier, if you're not modifying the reload time of the gun, this will have no effect. But accuracy does, because the gun itself has accuracy. Same with weak point. The gun itself always has weak point, so this will always work. All right? That is how things work in summary. You guys have seen the proof for yourself. I hope this helps you guys understand Arche Tuning. All right, if you guys are confused and you don't want to build it yourself, just follow the builds that I have and you don't have to think about any of this. But for those that want to understand Arche Tuning, all right, I hope this helps. Thank you very much for watching this guide. I hope it is helpful to those of you who are new to the game and who want to understand and learn about Arche Tuning, how it all works and how to put it all together. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, if you enjoy my content, please consider registering me as your creator. It would be very helpful if you do so. And here are our top tippers for July. Thank you to our top tippers, donators, super chatters, and membership gifters for July. You guys are amazing. All right. These are the people who are keeping this channel in business, who are keeping this channel alive. If you want your name on the list, get in early during the month, you know, sponsor a bit of love, and your name will be on this list, and you get thanked in every single video that I make. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't do anything weird while I'm gone, okay? Catch you later.